Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings. This fella's your host, Bill Miller. Super excited because this is the first of two Halloween-themed haunted hauls. So let's get into it and start showing and telling these spooky books. The first one, all right, this one isn't really a Halloween-themed one, but I got it with these other books, and I wanted to get it into a haul video. This is actually a pulp, and it's Planet Stories, Volume 5, Number 12. From 1953, Kelly Frias art, Ed Emsler art, and an Alan Anderson cover. I would open that, but it's pretty brittle, which is the case with a lot of the pulps. Now this is a Halloween-themed book. This is Monster World from 1975, published by Mayfair. It's a square-bound book. And these were more obscure, a little bit cheaper to produce than the Warren horror magazines. So let's take a look at this guy. See what it looks like inside. All right, so there is the back cover. That is how you're welcomed into the magazine. We've got Dracula Lives. Are there such beings as vampires and Draculas? Kolchak, the Night Stalker. The Wolfman. Some great art next to it. Let's see what else we've got in here. Movie breakdowns. Possession by Demons. It's never fun. Mini monster posters. That's pretty cool, right? You are encouraged to collect them all. We'll take a look at just a couple more. Otherwise, this video might be a little too long. Monster World Puzzles. Oops. Whoops. Nightmare Theater, Horror Rises from the Tomb. And we finish it off with some stills from The Mummy. So very cool. Monster World. All right. Next, we have Tales from the Tomb. This is published by Eerie. Let's take a look at this guy. All right, that is the back, the cover. We got some monster-sized monsters being advertised. Some really cool art. Start off with a vampire story. All black and white, as were most of the comic magazines. Weird Safari. The Old Hag's Claws of Horror. I'll leave that one alone. So obviously it's an anthology with several different stories within, as were most of these. The Tomb is Ours. This is a text-heavy story with just a couple of accompanying drawings. Monster in White. Werewolf Castle. Very nice. And oh, okay. So this story is continued on the back cover. That's pretty cool. Now on the inside of the back cover we have a giant life-size moon monster. So pretty cool. Tales from the Tomb. Got two more. This next one is Marvel Preview number 16, Masters of Terror. This is from 1979. That's a Gene Colan cover. So we'll take a look-see at this one. See what we've got. Starbuck on the back. All right. There's the frontispiece. This one looks to be in pretty good shape. Out of the Dark. It's the first story. Some really fantastic art in here. Spooky. There you go. Now we're getting down to some business. Voices. The Rise of the Private Eye. This one looks to be a short story. Don't know if there's any accompanying art. No, there isn't. But we have Death by Disco. An obituary for rock and roll. Late 70s, early 80s, right? Robin Hood drawing. An ad for Black Mark. A letters page. And a couple of ads. The last page and the front, the back cover. So that is Marvel Preview 16, Masters of Terror. And last, but certainly not least, we have the one I'm most excited about, Crime Illustrated #1. This is from 1955. That's a Joe Orlando cover. And this was EC's attempt to continue their line in magazine size with text-heavy stories because they did not have to be approved by the Comics Code Authority. Allegedly, there were only 2 issues of this. They just didn't sell, they didn't succeed because the distributors didn't carry them. They refused to sell them. So this is definitely a soiled and stained copy. You can see that used to be a white cover. On the back, you can be trained at home for good paying jobs in radio and television. A couple of ads in the front. Definitely some heavy moisture damage. Fall Guy for Murder. It's the first one. But you don't see these ones come up too often for sale. Just beauties. The art is incredible. I'm not showing every page. I think that might take a little too long. We have The Sisters. I don't know if Russ Cochran ever reprinted any of the illustrated titles. I think there were 2 or 3. Fool's Gold. But I will be reading this guy shortly. Farewell to Arms. Hopefully I won't spoil any of these stories. I'm flipping through them. Mother's Day. Of course, Mad was the only magazine that survived. And you can kill the hair-destroying germs and save your hair. That's the inside of the back cover. So that is EC's Picto-Fiction Crime Illustrated #1. Just a gorgeous cover. And that is it for the horror-themed books that we have for today. Stay tuned for part 2 of this series. Happy Halloween. I enjoyed showing these to you. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. And if you did, I would encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you get alerted as soon as I drop new content. Thumbs up and comments are always appreciated. Remember, we're taking over the world one comic book at a time.